Welcome back to West Texas View.
Welcome back. We're glad to have you and to hear some more of what Paul Acosta has to say. He's the director of the nonprofit management center that serves all of the Permian Basin. And it not only helps nonprofits to be more efficient and effective, but he provides consulting, educational opportunities, training. So just almost anything your nonprofit needs, he's got available at his fingertips. So I want us to go on and talk a little bit more about some of these services and some of the ways that you're helping.
Okay. First off, I'd like to ask you, Johnny Lou, can you give me a guess as to how many nonprofit organizations are in Midland, Odessa?
In Midland and Odessa, like duplications of Two United Ways?
Yes.
And I know it's larger than most people think, because we have a lot of helping agencies and big hearts in West Texas that fund them. And I'm going to guess 400.
400. Well, if you would actually believe there are 1,400.
Oh my gosh, no.
Registered nonprofit organizations in the Midland, Odessa area. Now that's including all of your band and athletic boosters, your PTAs or PTOs. But if you take a look at it, we actually have more registered nonprofit organizations in Midland, Odessa than the city of Fort Worth.
My goodness. See, I'm not surprised, because our rugged individualists of West Texas, when they see a problem, they solve it. And so if they see a need, they form an organization to take care of it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but that means that there's a lot of small and struggling, or they don't know where to go next. They don't know how to grow. They don't know how to reach the people that need them. And accessibility is one of the toughest problems with helping agencies, is reaching those people that need their help. And so that's part of your training, is to teach them how to be more accessible.
Yes.
How to have stronger board members, how to find good board members. Talk about that.
Well, one of the programs we do provide at the Nonprofit Management Center is called Generations. And what Generations does is we take a group of individuals who have been identified by community leaders, and they come from great corporations, Concho, Henry Resources, Chevron, some of the hospitals, Midland and Odessa. But what we do is we put them through a training, and we let them know all the ins and outs about being a responsible board member. An informed and trained board member. So when they do join a board, they're not just kind of thrown out to the wolves there. So we're letting them...
They know what they're committing to.
They know what they're committing to, because once you become a board member, or you do accept that, it is a huge responsibility. As a board member, you are responsible for the well-being of that organization, whether it's the structure itself, the staff that's being implemented, or the staff that is needed. You're looking at fundraising and being in charge of all of the funds to make sure your lights are on, that your door is open to serve the clients that are needed. So the Generations program, like I said, is there to provide great information on how to become a responsible board member.
And you've gone out into these smaller communities and identified people that would be good board members there. So you can even help a Seminole or a Greenwood or
definitely
Andrews to find good board members in their area.
And we do, I want to stress that we do help nonprofit organizations throughout the Permian Basin. You do not need to just be here in Midland, Odessa. If you've got a nonprofit organization and you need some assistance or guidance or information, we'd be more than happy to help.
One of the things that I always think about when somebody calls me and says, make a donation, is, am I giving my money to an agency that's wasting it, or am I giving it to an agency that is very good stewards of that money. And so it would mean a lot to me to know that they were keeping up with training, they were keeping up with the legalities, they were keeping up with making sure that their staff and board was trained.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And so that's, I think that's a big thing on their credentials is to say that they're working with you.
They are. Continued education for board members, for
Directors.
staff, for directors. It's important. It is important. Keeps your organization healthy. It keeps it informed. And you can only become more efficient and successful.
And one of the things that I've learned after many, many years of being on boards and serving as volunteers in different organizations is that it's really easy to get stagnant. And it's really easy to keep doing things the same way, even though maybe at one time they were very efficient and effective, but it's just kind of worn its course. And so one of the things you can come in to do is to kind of knock their socks off in maybe refreshing and renewing new ways to do things and new ways to fundraise and so on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And some of the other things that we'll do, strategic planning is important for organizations.
Oh, critical.
Very critical. And so what we're looking at is we will come in and do a strategic plan with an organization, and you're setting your map for the next 2 to 3 years. And so it's important that your organization, that your board members and your key staff members are all on the same page as to where we want to be in the future.
And strategic planning sets your goals, and without goals, you're not going to be meeting the needs of the people.
That is correct.
Well, we've just got about 35 seconds left in the program, so I want you to say anything else that you want to say. I particularly would like for you to talk about the impact of shared spaces.
Yes, now that we are in shared spaces, it's a great
Which
facility.
is a building of nonprofits.
Yes.
And they help each other and synergize with each other.
They do. So we have shared services and shared space. And it was a great opportunity.
Oh,
you know, a big thank you to Abel Hanger and all of the other foundations that made it possible, because we absolutely enjoy it.
But tell where you are. I know that rolling across the screen is your numbers, contact numbers. But if they want to come see you, you're in the Acosta?
Yes, it is near Cladesta and near the Chevron building. And it is at 2600 A Street. And it is, for those that have been in Midland for a while, we're in the old Hillcrest Private School.
Okay.
And
good.
so if you ever want to contact us, come on by. Our door is always open. But you can always give us a call, or you can always visit our website. And we'd just be more than happy to talk to you and see if we could help your organization.
The important thing is take advantage of this opportunity, because it will make your nonprofit so much stronger and so much more effective in reaching the public and the people you're serving. We'll see you next Sunday with another program. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB-TV and KWES-TV.